Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa and welcome to Let's Make a Stamp, my new game I like to play. So if you saw my last video, you saw my newest little toy and I love it. I love it. So I made this, which is kind of like a triptych of stamps. And I was thinking, you know, you could either rip them apart and use each one individually or kind of fold them up and stick them in a pocket, etc. So I'm going to show you how I made them. And yeah, so let's make some stamps. All right, so the first part is very fun. So I have a box of tidbits that I use, and I have pre-stamped a whole bunch of Temu Haul tidbits pieces. And what I used to do before to make a stamp was to use pinking shears to cut the edges. Or just fine. I was happy with it. You know, I lived with it. But now I have this thing, and I'm gonna just trim this down just a little, just to make it a little bit more normal sized. I have this. So it is tiny and it is a little bit old, but there's numbers here. You can probably see one, and there's a bit of a ledge there. So, not alleged, but on a ledge. So if I put it kind of close to that and stamp it, I get a beautifully kind of centered little thing. So I'll put it in there, kind of put it toward the ledge. Whoops. And stamp, beautiful. And put it in there. And stamp. And I have stamps. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna stamp these two. I'll be right back. All right, so those are done. So to make this, I did very similar. I ended up centering this best as I could possibly do. It doesn't, best I can tell, you don't have to. Ooh, put slides. I'm just gonna make sure it's back straight against that little line there. And then the little teeth, there's little notches in there. I put the notches in the same spot so it rests in the right spot. And I punched the next one. And did the same. I just made sure that this end is above, or not above, the ridge is there, so I get the rest of them. And same with this side. Just make sure. And there is a second set of ridges down here to do, but I think I went too far. Well, no, I did. Sometimes I would go too far and leave a little spot, and I had to go back and do it, but there we go. So I'm going to punch the other three sides. Right, so the outside is punched. So now we're going to do the center. Now this piece was 4.5. It was one of my normal bigger cards. It was 4.5, and I cut it to about 2.5 inch tall. It's just a random size. I thought it was a nice size to make that. So it's 2.5 by 4.5. So I scored it just to make it a little easier to fold at 1.5 and then 3 to make it equal size triptychs. So all I got to do is fold and put one of them in there. Now I have not bone folded this. I did that one, but I don't think it's really necessary. Is it? Yeah, it probably is. You can use this thicker paper, but you just got to make sure that it is skinny enough to fit in there. So we're just gonna put the bone folder on it, and then it should be able to. Yep, now it went. It was just a little bit thick. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to center it again. Takes a little bit extra of a push, but not too much more. Gonna put those holes in there. And there we go. And we're just gonna make sure that that rests inside of there. And we have a beautiful set of punches there. Now we're gonna do this side again. Center it. Yep. And first two holes in there, and then this this side, we'll just make sure it's inside the notch, and beautiful. So now we have a lovely little triptych, and I'll have to empty this out. I'm getting full. All right, so excited. Okay, so what I did also on this is I did spritz it with a little bit of alcohol ink, or sorry, distress spray, but I'm not that one. That one, walnut stain, but just to save a little time, I'm going to stamp it with this, and then I also put words in the background. Now I'm going to stamp this with the VersaFine Clair Morning Mist. It's a little bit lighter color. I probably could have used one of my browns, but we're just going to add a little bit of that to it. And I am going to, maybe I will, see another set of colors. This is the Gathered Twigs, I believe. A little bit of a brownish color to it. Beautiful. Just to, since this is such a simple looking background. Yeah. All right, so we're going to put that back, and I'm going to use my Nocturne for the letters because I wanted those to stand out a little bit more on the background. Wow, I don't know why that one is so hard to lift off, but it is. Okay. And we're just going to do a couple stamps and do that. Okay. Beautiful. All right, so this is, I'm going to be using these stamps on there. I probably, just going to throw a little bit of distressed ink on the edges of these. Now, I did pick out 3 different colors. I could have used the same background colors for these, or the stamp colors, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to have 3 different colors on there. And we'll use these. And we'll just put them where we feel like putting them. And then we'll figure out what we want to use on them. Now, I have pulled out my clear kind of stickers. Now, I could have found darker ones or washi tapes. Oh, that's what I was thinking about using. I got a bit of this left. Not really, got actually quite a bit. But I was thinking about using some of this. I wonder what this would look like. This is also part of my strips. I don't want to put them over the holes. Yeah, that adds a little bit of fun to that. And it could, like I said, we could add a little bit of other kind of washi tape too. I've got some music note washi tape. This could be fun to add to this one right here. Probably longer than I need. Yep, definitely. Just gonna rip it off. And we'll just put it over there. Okay. All right, so you're gonna go back there, and now we can add you're a little bigger than I kind of would like. These might all be just a little bigger than I'd like. This one's a little bit smaller. I like that one. Let's go with that one. Okay. All right. I'm not digging that anymore. We're gonna put that there. And we're gonna add the butterfly. Yep, I like that. Simple, but effective, right? Put that right there. This is a little longer than I'd like, so I'm gonna just trim that off a little bit. I was thinking about maybe I could put it through the machine again, but I do not want to accidentally stick one of those tiny little blades with something sticky, because you can imagine these little chunks that come out are pretty tiny, so I don't want to stick them up. Okay, so the other options that I have are my little square. Well, that's right on top. That would be pretty. Let's do that one. Yeah, let's do that. I like when the one's right on top that I want to use. Okay, we're just going to put that right there. And we'll put the tag right down there. Beautiful. Now we just need to find something for that. And I think it's something fall-like would be kind of fun. Whoops. A little higher than I would like. Wipe the glue off. All right, something to go right down there. I do see leaves right there. Okay, leaves are going to go on the top. See how I go and switch all things around here. Leaves are going to go on the top, and that's going to go right there. Okay. Look how fast that happens sometimes. Sometimes these things take forever to figure out, right? Now, isn't that cute, right? Now, these totally look different, so I could totally see ripping these apart and using them on something, but I almost don't feel like ripping apart right now because, you know. Now, I had cut this when I did the demo for the stamp on the thing, so we're just gonna, that is so satisfying to do. I love that. And this is about, what, 2 inches? Yeah, about 2 inches I cut it at. So this could easily be something that I end up putting stickers on, stamps on. A little bit darker, but I'm gonna put the little division in there. Come on, open. I seem to have cut it a little off, but that's okay, right? Now, for something like this, I don't think that it would be the best thing to do to put some of those clear stickers, because I think they would evaporate on there. But I'm thinking, like I said, maybe more of a washi label sticker kind of deal. Would be kind of fun. Like that, cut them down a little bit so they fit, but I do have these try your cakes. I don't know why they got in here. I don't know how come they're in here, but they're in here. I say let's try that with just a little fun. Let's see what we can make with that. I'm still thinking, I wonder if I need to put something in the background just to, and I wonder if I can still see these because they're black. Oh, you can. Just to add a little texture to the back. I like it. It's subtle, but I can see it. All right, so for something like this, we're gonna need to cut it. Now these are not gonna be as bright as they are because they are washi stickers. So we're gonna put those on there. And this one is a little bit brighter because it's not, this is solid. And maybe a number, that could be kind of fun. All right, I'm going to use this side so they both don't say La Parisienne, which they are. Okay. Get rid of these stickers. All right, so we've got tinier numbers here. All right, let's put it right there. Yeah, and this one I don't mind ripping this one apart since it was cut weirdly. But now I've got 2 stamps. Pretty fun. I like it. All right, we're gonna put these away because I didn't use these, right? I have this ink splooge that I did a couple days ago. I'm probably gonna do a video on how I made these, but I'm also thinking that this could be fun to make a stamp with. Split in half. And I wonder, as I'm splitting this in half, I have a thought to save time. And I probably will put, probably put this on there too. I really like that stamp. It's got just a cursive that is readable, but sort of not readable. But as I was thinking, since this is folded and it's a little bit thinner, this was a watercolor paper, that I'm thinking we're gonna do the split like we normally would. There we go. That worked good. And I'm thinking I can just do two at once here. Right? Yep. Beautiful. Saves a little bit of time. Oh, that works really well. For sure. Okay, center that. Center-ish, I guess you would say. All right, so, booyah. These are gonna be cool. These are gonna be awesome. Now I do have these washi ferns. I wonder how those would look. Kind of greenish colored. But I wonder if I could cut them. They're a little bit bigger than I was thinking they were. Put a flower or butterfly on top of there. I think I'll do that. I have a green one that I did a sploogey for, which that could be fun to do. I have to save that for something. I'm just off the top of my head. It's got those green stickers. Let's see what we got here. All right, so let's go. Right, I'm gonna cut the leaves off. And I knew they were sort of see-through-ish, so you can still see the shadows of the colors. That's why I thought this would be kind of cool. Just want to try to rub it in as good as I can. Make sure it's got good contact. Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna, should probably did this first, but we're just gonna put a little just a little stamping on there. And I do have part of a sticker, just part of a label on there with the numbers. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we'll save that one. All right, these will definitely be good for butterflies. Now, I don't want to do the same color. I want to do an opposing color. Something that'll stand out a little bit. Got some static going on in this room. They're sticking to my fingers. And they're sticking to this package. Looking for like maybe a yellow. There we go. I like that one. Okay. All right. Well, I think I've had fun enough for everybody today. I was very excited to play with this. I couldn't help myself. This was just an idea right off the top of my head. I'm sure if I would have thought a little longer, I could have thought of something a little bit more maybe interesting to do, but I think they still turn out excellent. Even with just kind of thinking off the top of my head with no plan in mind. Sometimes that's the best crafting, don't you think? Ever did you just do that? Go sit your craft room or your craft desk or your craft corner or whatever you got and, you know, just grab something and play. Sometimes that ends up being some of the most fun. Sometimes I think when I plan too much, it kind of doesn't meet my expectations. I was thinking it's going to be awesome, and then it ends up being not so awesome. But for not planning anything, I think those are awesome. And again, you could, you know, fold this up, tuck it into something, use it, or split it and rip it, and you have two separate cards. I love it. So we have that one. on my splooge card, which I'm going to definitely show how I did that in an upcoming video. I mean, even this would be like cool, like put on there as a background, right? Make something on there, like a double background. Cool. And then we made this one. It's kind of a little bit more fall colors there, like some fall berries and a butterfly, double stamped. I'm so excited about that thing. And this one, which we did rip apart, it's got like a little washi sticker and some cakes and some numbers. I love it. And then the one I did off camera to kind of see how it would look. This probably should use a little bit of washi, and I wonder, nope, too big. I had that sitting on the table. It's just a thin stripe of washi. I have these Temu Haul washis, and I think this would be cute. It's got like letters on there. A couple letters. Let's try that. Sticking to my fingers. Oh yeah, that's what it needed. Just something to ground it. See, these have something to ground it, but that one didn't, and now it does. I love it. Okay. All right, well, if you liked that video, a thumbs up would be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Especially if you want to see how I did my little smooshy backgrounds, which they really came out cute once I got cut down. I love them. I'm very excited. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that hung out with me to the end. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.